Greetings, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Peter Wills. Today's topic is my experience with Islam. I've always been anti-racism and against religious bigotry. I've always believed that all people, whatever faith they are, should have the freedom to practice their own religion. I've since the rise of the One Nation Party and Fraser Anning and other assorted Nazis, I've taken an interest in their attack on the on the Muslim community, and because I believe Muslims, like any other people, have the right to express their faith however they want, free of discrimination. This led me to an interest in Islam. I always wanted to read the Quran, but I never knew who to approach to get one. So, after joining a Facebook group called Aussies Against One Nation division in Australia, I posted that I wouldn't mind getting a copy of the Quran, and I was promptly offered a free one, which I thought was quite generous. And my dear brother, my closest brother, Khalid Elamar, sent me a copy of the Quran, this one. It's very easy to read. It has a English, it's in English, but it has a description of all the surahs and what the different verses mean, because in the translation from Arabic to English, a lot can be lost. So the explanations are quite good. So really my sole reason for reading the Quran was mainly to get ammunition against bigots and the likes of One Nation members who are always attacking Islam and saying the Quran says this, the Quran says that. I was pretty sure they were lying about a lot of things or taking a lot of things out of context. So I decided if I could read the Quran for myself, I'd be able to counter them and say, well, that's actually BS, mate. It doesn't say that at all. So after I received the Quran, I started reading it. I think I got probably about 6 or 7 pages in. I'm not sure what surah number it was. I started to realise, boy, if this book was written by a man, he must have really been in touch with God, because there's no way he could talk about some of the things he's talking about unless God had told him. And that's when I realised that the book was in fact written by Allah, and that was indisputable. After having read the Bible several times, I found the Quran actually very similar to the Old Testament, and to me it just simply made sense. Like I said previously, I had no other explanation for its contents other than it was the word of Allah, and there's no reason for it being. But I committed myself to reading one juz per day, and I plowed through it in no time at all. I think I was in the process of reading it. I asked my brother Khalid what prayer mats were, what they were used for, and he promptly sent me one in the post, very generous. And I finished reading the Quran, and along the way I was talking to my brother, and he said, have you thought about claiming Shahada yet? And I didn't really know what that was. Apologies. And until I looked it up on Google, and then I found the prayer in the back of the Quran, and I said the prayer and reverted to Islam. And it wasn't long after that, again, another act of generosity from my brother sent me an outfit to go to mosque, and that's it in a nutshell, pretty much. And one of the questions I get asked is, how could you go from being a Pentecostal to a Muslim? Well, it's quite easy, really. I compared the Bible to the Pentecostal beliefs and found most of them to be false. I read the Quran, and to me the Quran was what the New Testament should have been, but wasn't. Obviously, to me, I think it's quite obvious anyway, Christians after the time of Christ wrote a corrupt version of the Bible, And this is why God sent the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to correct all the fallacies that they were practicing and give the last version of his word in print, which is the Quran. Now, do I make a perfect Muslim? Absolutely not. I have many failings. I have tripped over many times and had questions of faith, but I read the Quran again and I talk to my brother Khalid, and he explains everything pretty well. Lucky for me, because I'm a slow learner. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much sums up how it all came about and how I went from one extreme to the other. Thanks for listening.